You're tuned into Bengals Breakdown, where real fans get the real story. I'm your host, and today, we're diving straight into the hottest headlines out of Cincinnati Bengals camp. What did we learn from yesterday's open practice? A lot. From key injury updates to some noticeable absences, this isn't the kind of news you want to miss. But hold up. Before we break the latest from the field, do this real quick. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a moment of Bengals coverage. This is the place where passion meets analysis. Ready? Let's jump in. Now, onto the field. Let's talk Dax Hill. No, he hasn't been cleared for full contact just yet, but here's the good news. Hill is already running and cutting, and all signs point to a smooth recovery from the ACL tear that ended his season early last year. What's more exciting? The Bengals aren't just waiting on him, they're planning for him. Defensive packages are being built with Dax at the center, not just in coverage but in blitz scenarios, in multiple roles. This guy's not just a safety anymore, he's a chess piece, and the Bengals are ready to move him around the board. Last year they tested him out at corner. Now the question is, can Dax Hill come back strong and lock down a starting role, wherever they put him? We'll break that down next. Let's talk about one of the most intriguing storylines heading into the 2025 season, Dax Hill's evolving role in the Bengals' defense. Last season, not many expected him to win that starting corner spot right out of the gate, but he did. No hesitation. Lined up opposite Taylor-Britt in Week 1 and made it clear he belongs. Now with Mike Hilton no longer in stripes, the big question is where Hill fits best. Is he headed for the outside again, or does he step into the nickel role to fill the void Hilton left behind? Bengals cornerbacks coach Chuck Burks had a powerful quote on this. "I'm going to put him in position to cover and blitz, corner, nickel, whatever. He has an elite skill set, and we plan to use it." That says everything. Hill isn't being seen as just a return from injury story. He's being positioned as a defensive focal point, blitzing, covering, leading. And the front office agrees. They didn't hesitate to pick up his fifth-year option. That's commitment. But let's not forget, Hill is still working his way back from a serious ACL injury. The Bengals are wisely being cautious, not rushing anything. The spotlight now shifts to one key question. Will Dax Hill be a full go when training camp kicks off? His presence at full strength could shape the entire identity of the Bengals secondary. How active will he be? Is he taking first-team reps? Those answers are coming soon, and they could define Cincinnati's defensive ceiling. Meanwhile, some notable absences from practice are raising eyebrows too. Defensive lineman Shemar Stewart was present, but still not participating. His return timetable remains unclear. There's no sugarcoating it. The situation with Shemar Stewart is frustrating. He's on the field, in uniform, but he's not participating, just standing on the sideline while others rack up valuable reps during these OTA practices. For a player with his potential, that's a missed opportunity. Bengals coaches see it. The fans feel it. Everyone knows these spring reps matter, especially for a young defender still trying to establish himself. Whenever that contract gets signed, and yes, it will get signed, it won't make up for the developmental time lost on the grass. Shemar's not alone on the sidelines either. Veteran back Samaje Perine was present but didn't suit up for drills. No official word yet on why, but it's something to monitor, especially considering Perine's experience could have brought steadiness to the backfield during this transition period. Meanwhile, Zach Moss continues to recover from last season's neck injury and hasn't been cleared for full activity. His absence is opening the door for rookie Taj Brooks, and Brooks is making the most of it. There's footage floating around from camp. Brooks taking reps with Joe Burrow himself. That kind of exposure for a 6th-round pick in June? Invaluable. He's getting the lion's share of live work right now, and it's planting the seeds for what could become a bigger role than most expected in year 1. On the rehab front, Eric All Jr. remains out and is expected to miss the season. No surprises there, just a tough break for the promising tight end. And then there's the curious case of Jermaine Pratt. It's June 4th. Pratt still hasn't reported, and the Bengals have been silent on what's next. No official move, no cut, no update. You'd think by now we'd have clarity, but instead, we're left with a question. Are the Bengals quietly hoping to hold on to Pratt after all? If so, it would be a surprising twist in a situation that seemed settled weeks ago. Let's get into the latest wave of absences and what they really mean for the Bengals. First off, the Jermaine Pratt situation continues to raise eyebrows. Despite strong indications that the team may be moving on, especially after the draft, the Bengals still haven't officially made a move. No cut, no announcement, just silence. Whether that's strategy or hesitation remains unclear, but it's certainly unusual at this point in the offseason. And then there's Trey Hendrickson. He made a brief return, spoke to the media, then vanished from OTAs again. This time, it appears to be contract-related. He's made no secret of wanting a revised deal, and his absence feels more like business than anything personal. It's not surprising, but it's definitely lingering. Also missing, BJ Hill. The last we saw, he was in a walking boot, a sight that sparked concern. However, given that he recently secured a new deal, there's every reason to believe this is just precautionary rehab. No alarm bells yet, but something to keep an eye on. Now, a lot of veterans take time off around this point in the offseason, so let's not overreact. Still, in a sea of understandable absences, one stands out like a flashing light. Shemar Stewart. He was there. He had the gear. But again, he didn't practice. And that's becoming a pattern. At this stage, the Bengals need clarity, whether it's contractual, physical, or otherwise. But enough about who wasn't there. Let's talk about what did happen. The top highlight from the field? Taylor-Britt picking off Joe Burrow. That's right. One of the team's brightest young defenders stepped in front of a throw and made a big-time play, one that had teammates buzzing and coaches nodding. It's exactly the kind of energy the Bengals want to see from a guy who's expected to anchor the secondary this season. And if Taylor-Britt is already disrupting passes in June, that bodes well for a defense looking to make a statement in 2025. Let's talk about the play that had everyone talking at practice, Taylor-Britt's interception off Joe Burrow. The moment itself, flat out special. Some debate whether he got both feet in or just an elbow and a toe, but the takeaway was clear. It was a play only a handful of corners in the league can make. This isn't the first time Cam's flashed that kind of raw athleticism. Who could forget that one-handed interception against Patrick Mahomes in Week 2? That was a statement. But here's the truth. Flashes aren't enough anymore. Taylor-Britt has made the spectacular look easy. The problem is, at times, he's made the easy plays look hard. Inconsistency has followed him, and last season was a roller coaster. He was benched, twice. From a rookie with CB1 potential to a player fighting to hold onto a starting spot, his journey has been anything but smooth. But here's what makes this moment in 2025 so compelling. The Bengals are going all in on Cam. They didn't draft a single corner. They didn't sign a high-profile free agent at the position. They've essentially said, it's your job. Go earn it. And that speaks volumes about their belief in his ceiling. Still, questions remain. Can he rise to the challenge? Can he stay locked in, on and off the field? We know about his presence in Cincinnati's social scene. He's a personality. But now it's time for that personality to show up between the lines. Because this isn't just about Taylor-Britt anymore. It's about whether the Bengals' defense can be elite again. And for that to happen, CB1 has to play like CB1, every snap, every game. Right after Taylor-Britt's big interception, Joe Burrow responded like only Joe Burrow can, by dropping a perfect deep ball to Jamar Chase on the very next play. That's just Burrow in a nutshell. When he makes a mistake, he almost always follows it with a jaw-dropping moment. It's that calm, competitive edge that defines him. And it wasn't a one-off. During 7-on-7s, Burrow had another moment. After a pass breakup by rookie Daijun Fake Newton, Burrow bounced back immediately and connected with T. Higgins for a big gain. These are the kinds of little sequences that remind you exactly who numbered Doku's Sat. Now, circling back to Taylor-Britt, it raises an important question as we head toward the 2025 season. How confident are you in him as the Bengals' top corner? After last year's inconsistencies and this year's renewed opportunity, it's time to find out if he can take that next step. Rate your confidence from 1 to 10. How locked in are you on CTB? Before we wrap up, there's one more detail from practice that's worth highlighting. James Rapien, who's covered this team extensively, pointed out something new: the tempo. According to Rapien, the Bengals were moving through drills faster than they have in past years under Zach Taylor. Less standing around, less downtime between reps. Everything ran with sharper urgency. It may seem small, but this could be the start of something important. Cincinnati has had a habit of slow starts under Taylor. If the tempo in OTAs is any clue, the coaching staff might be dialing things up now in hopes of flipping that script in September. And that shift in mindset, urgency in June to win in week 1, could make all the difference in a crowded AFC.